300 feet under the ocean. No sunlight, no fresh air coming in from outside, and one sailor still has to put a hot meal on the table 4 times a day. Every single day, for 3 months straight. No grocery store, no quick run for milk, just steel walls, a kitchen the size of a small bedroom, and a job that can shape the mood of an entire crew if it goes wrong. This is the work most people never hear about on a nuclear submarine. And what one cook does down there might surprise you, because the way the Navy figured out how to feed a crew underwater for months changed more than just dinner. It changed the whole rhythm of life on these boats. And it started with a problem nobody on the outside ever saw coming. This is a real day in the life of a mess deck specialist on a nuclear submarine. The job title sounds simple. The reality is anything but. If you have respect for the men and women who do this kind of work every day without anyone watching, type respect in the comments. Let us know what you think. The day for a submarine cook starts long before most of the crew is even awake. While half the boat is still asleep, someone is already in that small kitchen, getting breakfast ready. There is no clock on the wall telling them it is 6 a.m. outside, because outside does not exist down there. There is no sunrise, there is no sunset. The only thing that tells time on a submarine is the schedule. And breakfast has to be ready no matter what. The Navy calls this job a Culinary Specialist, or CS for short. On a submarine, once a cook finishes extra training and earns their submarine qualification, sailors sometimes call them CSS, but the title does not really matter. What matters is this. Somebody has to feed over 100 people 4 times a day in a kitchen smaller than most home kitchens while the boat is moving. While the crew is working around the clock and while there is no way to just run out and grab more supplies. And that brings us to something most people get completely wrong about submarine life. Something that changed not too long ago and changed it for the better. For decades, submarine crews lived on what was called an 18-hour day. 6 hours on watch, 12 hours off. That might sound fine until you realize something. A real day on Earth is 24 hours long, so every single day, a sailor's sleep time would shift 6 hours earlier. It is like flying across time zones every day, with no break, for months at a time. Sailors were exhausted. Their bodies never knew when it was supposed to be morning or night. The Navy noticed this was a problem, and to their credit, they fixed it. Starting in the years after 2016, the submarine force began shifting almost the entire fleet to a 24-hour schedule. Most boats now run 3 watch sections, each one standing 8 hours on watch, then 16 hours off. That 16 hours off is split between rest, training, and personal time. It lines up with the way the human body actually works. Sailors sleep at the same time every day now, just like you and I do back home. That one change alone made a real difference in how alert and how healthy these sailors stay during long patrols. It is a small detail, but it tells you something important. The people running our submarine force are constantly looking for ways to take better care of their sailors. That schedule change did something else too. It completely reshaped how the mess deck operates. Because the boat never sleeps, the kitchen never really closes either. 4 meals roll out every 24 hours. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. And then there is the one meal most people on the surface have never heard of. Midrats, short for midnight rations. This is the meal served for the crew standing watch in the middle of the night when most of the boat is asleep. For the sailors pulling that overnight shift, midrats might be the only hot meal they get that feels like a real meal instead of a quick bite. And the cooks treat it just as seriously as breakfast or dinner. Nobody on that mess deck gets forgotten, no matter what hour they are working. Now picture trying to cook 4 full meals a day, every day, for months, in a space about the size of a walk-in closet. That is the real galley on most fast-attack submarines. There is barely room for 2 people to stand side by side. Every pot, every pan, every spice has its place, and it never moves because there is no room for things to be out of place. And here is something that surprises a lot of people. The air down there is humid, really humid. With no windows and a sealed steel hull, moisture builds up everywhere. That humidity can mess with bread baking, of all things. Cooks have to adjust their baking based on how wet the air feels that week. Storage has to be watched closely too, because that same moisture can ruin dry food if nobody pays attention. It sounds like a small detail. It is not. One bad batch of flour can be a real problem when the next grocery stop is months away. So how does the Navy make sure these sailors actually eat well? In a space and a situation like that? Money. The Navy puts more money into submarine food than almost any other part of the fleet. Submarine sailors get a food budget that runs around $12 to $14 a day per person, which is roughly 30 to 50% higher than what surface ships get. That is not an accident. The Navy understands something simple but powerful. When you take away sunlight, fresh air, and contact with family for months, food becomes one of the only things left that can lift a sailor's spirits. So they invest in it. Prime rib on special nights, lobster tail for holidays, fresh baked bread whenever the cooks can manage it. It is one of the clearest signs of how much care goes into looking after the people serving under the waves, even in the smallest details of daily life. But none of that food just appears out of nowhere. Getting it onto the boat in the first place is its own kind of mission. Weeks before a submarine ever leaves port, the planning starts. Cooks and supply teams have to calculate exactly how much food is needed for the entire patrol, sometimes lasting 90 days or longer, with zero chance to restock once they are underway. Fresh food only lasts the first week or so. After that, it is frozen goods and canned goods for the rest of the trip. And here is the part that catches people off guard. There is not nearly enough room in the kitchen to store months of canned food, so it gets stacked, case after case, right in the hallways of the submarine. Sailors walk past stacks of canned goods every single day on their way to their watch stations, because there is simply nowhere else to put it. By the end of a long patrol, those stacks have shrunk down to almost nothing, and everyone on board can see how close they are getting to the end of their food supply just by looking at the hallway. It takes real skill to plan that far ahead and not get it wrong. One miscalculation could mean running short on food before the mission is even done. These cooks are not just cooking, they are running a full supply operation in a space smaller than most apartments, and they are not doing it alone. A typical submarine kitchen runs with a small but tight team. Usually one senior cook in charge, a chief or a first-class petty officer, supported by 2 or 3 trained cooks underneath them. Add in a couple of sailors still training for the job, and a handful of brand new junior sailors who rotate through kitchen duty before they earn their full submarine qualifications. That last group does a lot of the unglamorous work. Washing dishes, hauling supplies, cleaning. It is often their first real introduction to life on a submarine, and it teaches them fast just how much teamwork it takes to keep a boat like this running smoothly. Every single person in that kitchen has a role, and when it works well, the entire crew eats well, on time, every time. So why does any of this actually matter? Why should feeding people be treated as such a big deal? Because down there, with no sunlight, no open air, and no contact with the outside world beyond a short message from home every now and then, a hot meal becomes something much bigger than food. It becomes a piece of normal life in a place that has none. The mess deck is one of the only spots on the entire boat where sailors from completely different jobs sit down together. The engineers, the weapons team, the navigation crew, all sharing the same table. For a few minutes, it does not feel like they are 300 feet underwater on a nuclear-powered vessel. It just feels like dinner. That is the real job of a mess deck specialist. It is not just cooking, it is holding together one of the few things that keeps a crew feeling human during months at sea. Every meal served on time, every birthday cake made from scratch with limited supplies, every holiday dinner that tastes a little bit like home, all of that adds up. It keeps spirits high when there is nothing outside to look at and nothing to remind anyone what day it even is. These are the sailors who rarely get mentioned when people talk about submarine missions. No headlines. No medals for getting breakfast out on time for the third straight month. But ask anyone who has actually served on one of these boats, and they will tell you the same thing. A good cook can make or break morale on a long patrol. That is not a small job. That is one of the most important jobs on the entire boat. So the next time you hear about a submarine staying underwater for months at a time, remember there is someone down there in a kitchen the size of a closet, making sure 100+ sailors get fed on schedule every single day, no matter what. That is dedication most people will never fully understand. And it deserves more credit than it usually gets. If this gave you a little more respect for the people serving on our submarines, do us a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe for more stories like this one. It really does help us keep making them.